What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? Good morning. Well, seems Bitcoin has found its range. We seem to have found a bottom. We'll see what happens from here, guys, but so far, so good. I put this yellow box in this morning. It seems like we have a range between 109,500 and 110,500. Seems to be where Bitcoin wants a range. You see these long wicks, which means that whenever Bitcoin drops below basically where it is now, the market sees it as a good buying opportunity. So that can start to reflect a little bit of a bottoming signal, right? So it looks as though we may have very well found our local bottom. And yes, my friends, just in case you were wondering, it is a good day to have a good day. Have a great day. Have a fantastic day, guys. I feel good. I feel great. I'm having a good day. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day as well. It's a good start, guys. I'm going to do some DCAing as soon as this live stream is kaput. All right. Let's get into the chat just a little bit. We have 0 super chats to start the stream, so let's get into the chat. Ty, good to see you, buddy. Beebs, what's going on, my dude? Good to see you, brother. Blessings, John. Crow Nation strong. Yes, Crow trying to break out of resistance right now. If it can continue up, it's going to look absolutely amazing. Let's actually look at the Crow chart right now. Let's look at the Crow chart. I know somebody's going to ask me to anyway, so I might as well just do it ahead of time and be proactive, right? Yeah, so you've got your... right here. All right. So as you can see with Crow, you've got your range, right? Oh, right there. All right. So you've got a range right here that you're going to be stuck in, right? You have a little bit of a liquidity range right here. That's acting as resistance. You're going to have a lot of static in that range on the daily time frame. And are you going to be able to break through? I mean, I don't know. We moved up a lot. We moved up like 30%, right? I mean, what are we up on the chart here? Yeah, right now we're up about 32.33%. So, yeah, that's quite the recovery. But you've got some static. You've got some resistance. It might take a little bit of time to break through here, guys. You may see a little bit of a correction back down to around 19 cents one or something like that, right? You could see something like that take place. And then a little bit of consolidation, right? So maybe right about there, you come back down. Maybe on today's candle or tomorrow's, maybe you build a little bit of consolidation. Maybe, just maybe, you build a bit of a bull pennant inside of here before you can gain enough momentum to break above your liquidity zone here, right? So something to keep an eye on, guys. Something to keep an eye on for Crow. But let's see if this support level holds at 19 cents 145. See if that can hold some water. What else we got? H Barbarina. Let's pump this market, y'all. Let's get it. Yeah, you guys were crazy over on the Patreon last night, pumping up that one project, man. A lot of gains were had last night on that little swing trade. That was funny. That was funny, guys. Y'all are crazy. Blessings, John, my friend. Thank you so much for your generosity, as always. John, always here supporting the channel. I appreciate you, my dude. I appreciate you. What do we got? Beebs over on Crypto Blueprint as well. Thank you so much. John says smash the like button. Ty says BitYNX lifted restrictions so I can withdraw my funds. Heck yeah, there you go. Nice. That's what I like to see. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe on the way in. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to hit the like button, guys. It's free. 161 people, 163 people here, and we have 46 likes. Let's break up into new all-time highs. Let's get to 100 likes first of all. You can do it. Put your back into it. Oh, House, all those answers are important for the chat. Oh, yes, for the, that's right, for the poll. What do we got? So most of you guys value micro cap gems over on the Patreon. So the purpose, guys, I want you guys to know. Now, listen, if you're on the Patreon or even if you're not on the Patreon, I want you to answer the question in the poll, okay, in the chat, because I want to know what's important to you guys in terms of what I can bring more of for you guys in terms of value. And maybe what, if you're considering going over to the Patreon, what feature is most important to you if you did go over there, right? So even if you're not on the Patreon, I want your answer on the poll so that I can know what you value most. Right now, microcap gems seems to be leading the way, followed by coaching calls. So not bad so far. So keep the answers coming, guys. Fridge, what's up, buddy? Could you look at a token Gravity? Morning, brother. And smash the like, nerds. All right. Gravity. Let's see if I can. I don't even know what the ticker is on that. You're going to have to send me the ticker, Fridge. Unless that is the ticker, which I doubt. What is it? Gravity? G? Is the ticker G? Is this it? Let me have a look over on CoinGecko. Gravity. Yeah, that's got to be it, right? Well, hopefully I'm on the right one, brother. Gravity. Okay. You wanted me to look at the chart? Or you wanted me to look at the token. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I'm looking at the token right now. Here, I'll bring it up for you. All right, so 1 cent, $82 million market cap. It's got good tokenomics. It's on Ethereum. It's a layer 1 decentralized identifier. Oh, the DIDs. The DIDs. So what is it about? Gravity is a layer 1 blockchain designed for mass adoption in the omni-chain future. Its approach abstracts the technical complexities of multi-chain interaction. Okay, so mostly just a layer 1 on Ethereum. It's listed everywhere. All-time high was last year, 9 cents. Oh, this is going to wreck its all-time high for sure. It's going to wreck its all-time high. Yeah, looks like a decent play, man. Looks like a decent play to me. What else do we have? Brian, good to see you, buddy. William is in the house. What's going on? Ramona in the house. What's going on? We will talk today about your email, Ramona. We will talk today about it. Donna Summers, I feel love. There you go. Strawberry Dragon, good morning. Good morning. Ken and Lisa, where have you guys been? Morning, Rob. Do you think Crow will move back down to 15 cents? I mean, how about we see where it finishes its pump before we start wondering about that? I think it's probably, like I said on the chart, I think it's probably going to try to catch support at that 19 cent 145 level. If we can, I think that's probably where you're going to catch support. So, Dennis, good morning, fellow weirdos. David, stoked for the opportunity to grow the bags, but I have an observation. How can institutional buying break the 4-year cycle if they can't even break the seasonal dip? Not a bad question. Not a bad question. But here's the thing. Apparently, according to reports, Binance was manipulating the markets last night. They were caught selling off Ethereum to suppress the price, to liquidate. And the reason that they do that, guys, is so what they'll do is they'll start dumping mass quantities of like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and they'll do it to push the price down. And the reason that they push the price down is so that they can liquidate all of the longs and steal everybody's money, right? So to me, it's only a matter of time. This is one of the primary reasons that we need regulations in place for these exchanges, okay? Because what Binance is doing, what they did yesterday, right? You cannot mass sell off Ethereum purposely to push the price down so that you can liquidate your own customers on your exchange and take all of their money from their long positions. That's theft, right? That's theft. That's market manipulation at its finest. That's what Binance did yesterday with Ethereum, right? So in saying that, that is why regulations and oversight for these crypto exchanges is necessary, because that's theft. Imagine being one of those people who had a long in on Ethereum and Binance manipulated the price of Ethereum to liquidate you and steal your money. That's outrageous. It's outrageous. That should infuriate every single crypto investor that exchanges like Binance do that kind of thing, right? So yes. My only Nick, what's up, buddy? Yes, I just looked at the crow chart. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. David, that being said, I have some dry powder coming. Perfect time. Yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Brian, what's up, buddy? Looking for Ethereum big green candle. That's what she said. Absolutely, brother. Let's go look at Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum's chart. Ethereum's actually trying to climb back up right now. Right? Let's go back to the ETH chart. Yeah, ETH is looking kind of juicy today, guys. Kind of juicy. A little bit of a recovery here. Let me blow it up so you can see it. So we wicked all the way. Let me get rid of this little golden pocket, little liquidity zone here. So we wicked right back up to resistance at $4,589. Rejected off there, slightly rejected off of there. We're sitting at $4,550. So a break above that level will be nice, but I think we're probably going to spend a couple of days kind of ping-ponging here at this resistance before we break through, right? So we're going to have to stair-step our way out of this, which is fine. It's fine, guys. Look how close we are to all-time highs, right? We are not in a bad position at all. The all-time high wick is only 8.85% up from where we are right now, okay? We're 8.85% away from another new all-time high and breaking out into price discovery mode. We are close, guys. And this is what leads me into my thesis that I talked about this morning, which is that while Bitcoin may consolidate in the range it's in right now, I don't think altcoins are going to consolidate like Bitcoin's going to. I think if Bitcoin starts to consolidate between 109,500 and 110,500, I think you're going to start to see altcoins recovering from this last 48 hours, and they're going to start melting their way back up again. Because if we look at Bitcoin dominance, right? Let's go have a look at the Bitcoin dominance. You see Ethereum starting to recover. You see some of the alts are starting to recover. Bitcoin is not, and the Bitcoin dominance is continuing to drop, right? So I think you could see Bitcoin dominance continue to drop here while Bitcoin consolidates and altcoins continue recovering from the last 48 hours. I think that's what's going to happen here, right? So very, very nice, very good. Yes, you like it. You like it. Eric, two-part question. Number one, when you refer to bags you hold, you are referring to different crypto tokens and coins. Yes. Number two, why do you recommend not to have too many different bags? Because when things start going crazy, when everything's going parabolic, a lot of you new people in crypto are not going to be able to maintain and manage your entire portfolio for starters, right? It's too much. For starters, it's too much to maintain. And number two, like most of you guys, especially new people, you don't even know when to take profits and when to be exiting on one single project when it pumps. Imagine 20 of them going crazy at the same time. You have no idea what you're doing. Anxiety and panic set in. And number two is you're spreading yourself too thin. If you've got $200 here, $500 there, $1,000 there, $200 here, and you're holding 25 different projects with a few $100s in each and every single one of them, well, every project that you only hold a few $100s in, or even just like $1,000 in, to get a significant return on that investment, you need a much, much higher pump to happen. a 100x on a $200 investment, really? You're going to get $200 profit out of that, right? And if that's what you want, then hey, give her, have at her, right? But if you're trying to make true, actual life-changing wealth, having a few $100s spread in 25 different places, you need each one of those projects to go up thousands of X's just to make significant money, right? You're spread way too all over the place. However, if you consolidate down to a manageable amount of cryptos, let's say 5, 6 maybe, and you've got thousands and thousands in each one of those, or I say thousands and thousands, but like 5,000, 10,000, whatever in each one of them, well, guess what? Now, what's 100x on $10,000? You just made 10 grand instead of $200, right? And it's easier to roll those profits around into other projects. You don't have to try to get everything. You're not going to, right? There are millions of crypto tokens out there, and a lot of them are gems. A lot of them are great projects. You can't get them all. You have to focus, right? So hopefully that helps. Alex, would you recommend shorting Bitcoin up? Nope, I would not. I would not. Mark, good day to you, sir. Good day to you too, sir. Thank you so much. It's a great day to have a great day. Like I said, guys, Richie Rich, what's up, buddy? Can't wait for the next leg up. Let's go. All-American Meathead. This comment identifies as a super chat for $1 million. If only it worked that way, eh? If only it worked that way. Babes, Rob, do you think the Bitcoin pulling back at this stage of the cycle, we don't see 180 to 200K, more of 135? You know what, Babes? You may actually be right on that, and I've been thinking about that. Because how often have I said to you guys that I think the top of this cycle is going to be between $150,000 and $180,000, or maybe $200,000. But I've often also said to you that if I was to slip into a coma for the next 12 months, and I woke up and you told me that Bitcoin topped at $135,000, I wouldn't be surprised, right? And a lot of people say, well, that's too bearish based on the price of Bitcoin right now. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it from the perspective of the current price of Bitcoin. However, a lot of us were buying Bitcoin at the bottom of this bear market at $15,000. So you cannot turn around and tell me that buying Bitcoin at $15,000 and selling it at $135,000 is a bearish return, because, my friend, you are sadly mistaken if you think that. That is like a $120,000 return per Bitcoin, right? That's not bearish at all. So you could be right, peeps. You could be right, brother. Dave, good morning, my friend. What's going on? What's going on? Jake the Snake. The most important feature to me is one that tells me when moon, when Lambo, and when mansion. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. In my opinion, ETH is about to hit 5K sooner than expected. I agree, Beebs. I think it's going to break out. People are not going to understand. It's going to be confusing, right? We're only 8% away from it right now. Fridge, yes, sir. Okay, perfect. It's me, Yamario. What's up, my friend? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, Jake the Snakes. Will Crow have a pullback that I can cry about? Absolutely. When dip, yes, agree. This drop was straight up manipulation. Absolutely. Go time. What's up, buddy? Quinn, I see you, brother. What's happening? Truth Seek, haven't seen a couple of the gems in the buy and sell alerts that seem to be good buys as well. Is that just because your bags are already filled? Probably. Depends on the gems, but probably, yeah. Probably. Crypto JPEG on the Patreon. I love your experienced outlook on the market, keeping us in line in rough times and helping us find gems. I really like the morning videos, now giving us morning outlooks on the day. Absolutely, Crypto JPEG. 100%, man. I thought it would be a good feature, and it really, really did catch on. It seems like you guys really enjoy the morning market overview videos that we do first thing in the morning every day. So, yeah. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Caw, says Mario. Crow's going. Yes, absolutely. Carlitos, Rob, how are you, sir? Can you take a look at Swiftcoin? Thank you. I was actually looking at Swiftcoin's chart this morning. Ethereum's making another run as we speak. Where is my Swift coin chart? Oh, there it is. I did a short on Swift coin this morning, Carlitos, telling you guys what price point to watch for a breakout on Swift. So you want to watch for a breakout around 1 cent 051 for a break of this trend line and a move to the upside. You could break it, but you have to close above there. If you notice, we've broken the trend line multiple times, but we've fallen back down inside of here into this descending channel, right? So what we need is a candle close, a confirmed candle close outside of this structure, right? Outside of this descending channel. It's only a matter of time, my friends. This is you have to understand something here. This is a very bullish structure on Swift coin. It's gonna run soon, right? Make no mistake about it. Just got to break this descending channel, confirm the breakout, and we are off and running. So we need to see this, a candle close above, maybe a retest of the trend line, and then boom, we are off and running on Swift coin. So only a matter of when, guys. Richard, hey Rob, I'm back after a medical problem. Will DM you to get rescheduled? Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I'm glad you're feeling better, my friend. And hopefully you're feeling better. I'm glad you're back. That Zbex space has got me bricked up. Yes, I will be dropping a video. I will be covering the spaces today, so keep an eye out for that video later today, guys. If you want to watch the spaces that Zbex has, yeah, make sure you guys watch the video. Jake the Snake, eat the 5K tomorrow. Let it rain. Let it rain. Ramona, thank you so much for all you do. I love the morning videos. It starts the day off on a positive note, and wealthy weirdos, please hit the like button. Absolutely. Every single morning, it is a great day to have a great day, my friends. Thank you, Ramona. Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. Those morning videos have really picked up momentum. People seem to really like them. So, Danny, just got home from the gym. Nice, nice, nice. I just did a mile run before I hopped on here on the treadmill myself, my friend. Healthy mind, healthy portfolio. Yep, healthy body, healthy mind, healthy portfolio. Let's go. And check out your boy Otaku this morning, paying the Otaku tax, and he was talking about Miria and it not looking good, and it crashed his stream. Don't talk bad about Miria, will get you. Yeah, I know. Miria is not looking bad at all, in my opinion. I was actually over on Miria's page this morning. Let me see if I can see what they were talking about. They were putting out some sort of a guide this morning, I think it was, for researching Miria, just for transparency and stuff like that, right? Yeah. See, I was looking at it today. Miria doesn't look bad at all, in my opinion. Doesn't look bad at all. Like, the constant updates and developments in this project are fantastic, right? They continue to update. Their transparency is there. They're continuing to produce and work on things and get better. A lot of projects are just stagnant. Miria is not. It's constant updates from Miria, constantly, right? So I don't know what would be bearish about the project. They say if you're new to Miria, this is your starting point. The newbie quest line is out now on Zeely. So they've got transparency over on Zeely as well, just like Onyx Coin does, right? So yeah, love the transparency coming through from Onyx or from Miria. Don't forget to hit the like over on Crypto Blueprint as well. Yes, absolutely, guys. Do not neglect Crypto Blueprints. Absolutely. Don't be negligent. Don't be a negligent subscriber. Andy, what's going on, buddy? My dude, all packed, buddy. Support on Patreon. There you go. Absolutely. Support on Patreon. 100%, my friend. 100%. Andy's got it locked down in the chat over there, my friends. Don't mess around because he will get you. He will get you. What about having 10 projects, coins? Depends on how much money you have invested. AF, hey, Rob, hey, brother Rob. Thanks for support to the crypto community. 100%. Beebs, is it safe to say we are in phase 2 ETH season? Yes, I do think we are transitioning into that phase, my friend. Absolutely. I do think so. What you're going to want to watch, guys, is Ethereum breaking, really going into a violent price discovery mode. You're going to want to watch it. Once that happens, the next thing you want to pay attention to while that's happening is Solana. What is Solana doing after Ethereum starts going? Because Solana will start to outperform as well. That's how you know we are off and running. Okay, so keep an eye. Don't just watch Ethereum. Watch Solana as well. Candyman says, I think my super chat didn't pop up. No, I have not seen. I've not seen a super chat from you. I've not gotten one yet, Candyman. Jake the Snake says Otaku is still just a little sad because his lights broke. poor Otaku and his lights. Poor Otaku. We love Otaku. Guys, make sure you're subscribed over on Otaku's channel. Let's go have a look at Otaku's channel, actually. I'm going to show it to you on screen. Where's Otaku? Crypto Otaku. Let's have a looky-loo. Here we go, guys. Make sure you go shoot him a sub. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Otaku has 852 subscribers. We need to get him to 1,000, you guys. He only needs 148 subscribers. Let's push it up. Let's get him up there, guys. Shoot him a sub. It's the HBO special. Help a brother out, right? Let's get him up over 1,000 subs. Good morning, Wolfbane. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Jake the Snake, thank you for the free money for the cause, Candyman. Go time. I listened, Rob. I'm in 5 projects, and when we hit your targets on Patreon, I'm retired. Thanks for your guidance. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Who's buying more Swift? Amen to that, Angelo. Amen to that. I'm buying the Dark Horse XCN. Am I crazy? Probably. XCN is definitely not a dark horse. It is a fantastic project. Joy is in the house here for the live. Good to see you. Mike, hey, Rob, what will happen to altcoin rally, or will altcoins rally, or still just no? I've already kind of covered this. I think the Bitcoin's going to kind of consolidate between 109,500 and 110,500 here on the golden pocket that I've laid out, this yellow box. I think Bitcoin's going to consolidate in this range. And I think you're going to see altcoins start to recover as Bitcoin dominance continues to drop. We're going up today in Myriad. Timeout. Let's go. Timeout Otaku. Yes. Is it possible that XCN, Swift, Alchemy Pay, and Jasmine all peak back in between December? Nope. Nope. My dude is going through it. I've been there. Extra stuff going on personally makes it hard to stay zen in the markets. Hey, that's why Big Rob's here. Big Rob's got your back. I'm going to need Moonwell, Pith, and Tars to run. They will, man. They will. Don't worry. But guys, here's the thing. Here's the thing that you have to remember if you've never been through an altcoin season before, okay? And remember this. When altcoin season hits and everything's going parabolic, the key word in that is everything, okay? You could literally blindfold yourself in an altcoin season and hit something on the wall with a dart that's going parabolic. There is no, for the most part, you'll have the odd, like let's call 1%, okay? You'll have the odd 1% of altcoins that don't pump, okay? Or that pump extremely low, like don't pump as much, okay? But for the most part, your average altcoin is going to go parabolic. It doesn't matter if you're holding something right now that's in the red. Worst case scenario, you'll break even on that project, right? So selling in the red right now in a panic doesn't make sense. Asking if X altcoin is going to pump at some point doesn't make sense, because the answer, quite simply, to the answer to the question, hey Rob, will blank altcoin pump at some point in this market cycle? The answer is yes. There's nothing for the most part that's not going to pump. Nothing, right? Nothing. I don't know how much clearer I can be than that, right? Everything. FTT token, okay? FTT token will pump, all right? Like, here, let me show you. And if you don't know what FTT token is, it is the token, it's the exchange token for FTX, the bankrupt, no longer operating centralized exchange, okay? It went bankrupt how long ago? 2022, I want to say, or something like that, right? So here, let me show you. Let me show you, okay? So if you're asking me if your utility, let's say XCN, people are asking, is XCN ever going to pump again? You're being ridiculous by asking that question. Look at the chart here for FTT token, okay? This is a bankrupt exchange, a token with zero utility that represents an exchange that no longer exists. This coin does nothing. It does nothing. It doesn't even have the utility of its former exchange that's no longer operating, okay? It is a dead coin. For all intents and purposes, FTT token is dead. But look at the chart. Does it look dead? No, it still pumps, right? Look at this pump. How much was this? This was a 527% pump on a completely dead, in the ground, buried, no longer relevant token. Okay? And then it pumped again. Another 227%, right? So in saying that, guys, the point that what I'm trying to get across to you is everything will pump. Everything. Okay? So if you're sitting there with your coins, XCN or Jasmy or whatever it is that hasn't pumped in like forever, if you're thinking, is this ever going to pump again? Think about the chart that I just showed you of a completely dead coin that does nothing, still runs up 500%, almost 300% at a time. Now ask yourself, does it make sense that you're asking if your actual utility token that still has use case, that still has community behind it, if you're asking if that coin will pump, does that question make sense, right? Sorry to go on the rant about it, but it's just, for me, it's a ridiculous question to ask. Will XCN ever pump again? Will Jasmy ever pump again? Will whatever coin I'm holding ever pump again? The answer, quite simply and blatantly, is yes, it will, right? So relax. Sounds like I need to relax. It's a great day to have a great day. Ramona says Otaku's channel is so much fun and it's informative. Absolutely. I love Otaku's channel. He is my guy. He is my little buddy, my brother from another mother. Candyman says, sending again because I love you. I love you too, brother. It's gardening season. 5 weeks ago, I planted myself on the sofa and I'm growing considerably. Nice. Well done, brother. Well done. That's a good one. I got to tell that one to the wife. That's good. All right. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead here, guys, in the chat because I went on a little bit of a rant there. We burned up some time. We got to get into the news. We're almost an hour in already. Jake the Snake says, wasn't listening, but my alt's pamped. David says, Rand and Crypto Banter and Ben Cowan both suggested the September dip is happening now. You know what? I actually said that last night. Somebody in the chat asked me in the live stream last night over on the Patreon if maybe we were having the September dump now, and I was like, you know what? That's entirely possible. I wish I could remember who asked me, but yeah, somebody asked me that last night. And yeah, that is an interesting perspective, and it could be the case. You have to remember that there's an 80% correlation between Bitcoin and the M2 money supply. So sometimes we can see a dump happen earlier than it's supposed to on Bitcoin, like 20% of the time, right? So, or later for that matter, right? So, all right, guys, let's get into the news. If you have a question, comment, concern, you want to get my attention, send it over in a super chat and I will get to it because I got to start getting into the news, guys. The chat is buzzing. I love you guys. 274 people watching, and we have 95 likes. Let's get to the 100 like level first, guys. Let's get up there. You can do it. Put your back into it, like Ice Cube says. Let's get there, guys. Let's get it done. Let's get into the news. All right, what do we have? Quick shout out to the channel sponsor, Decent Biometric Wallet. Not your keys, not your coins, guys. Use our link in the description. Get yourself a 2-for-1 deal on the biometric wallet today. Keep your crypto safe. Keep it off of exchanges in your own self-custody, my friends. You can swap, take profits, and even stake your crypto and gain APY or your stablecoin all the live long day. Check it out today, guys. Use our link down below. All right, so we covered Bitcoin dominance. Let's get into a couple of stories, shall we? We don't have a ton of time left, chat. Usually all this fear usually signals a bottom. Yes, you're absolutely right, Pennypacker. You're absolutely right. Link token sees relief as Bitwise files for a Chainlink ETF. Yes, that's right. You heard right, my friends. There is officially a Chainlink ETF application in. Let's get into it and see what's going on. Bitwise Investments Advisors filed a preliminary S1 for a Chainlink ETF, expanding the selection of altcoins in the process of approval. The latest filing arrives at a time when the U.S. SEC Commission is taking the time to approve existing proposals. However, this does not stop funds from expanding the selection of altcoins. As with other ETFs, the Chainlink product will use Coinbase custody to store the tokens and will be cash settled. However, in the event of a liquidation, the trust may compensate buyers in cash or in kind. So far, in-kind settlements that transfers crypto is not practiced by ETFs, where investors prefer not to handle the issues of self-custody or keeping track of wallets. And that's the thing, a lot of new people in crypto, they don't want to bother learning how to do self-custody or any of that stuff. They just want these custodians to hold and buy their stuff for them and just tell them what to do, right? Which is fine. You're going to see a lot of retail investors choose that path, right? As Cryptopolitan previously reported, the SEC pushed the Wisdom Tree ETF to October. Recently, Link was also represented in Canary Capital's Made in USA crypto selection with a new multi-asset ETF filing. Link is among the top 5 Made in USA assets by market capitalization. Following the news of the ETF, Link traded at $23.54, stemming its recent losses. Link remains the leading token connected to the RWA tokenization narrative. Following the news of the ETF, Link traded at, I already read that part, sorry. The only live mainstream product for Link is Grayscale's Chainlink Trust. The trust carries over $29 million in value with 0.89 Link per share. The Chainlink Trust has shown relatively low volumes and has often traded at significant premiums and discounts in relation to the market value of Link. However, a far-reaching ETF may be more liquid and track the token's value more easily. In the past month, Link's daily activity, who cares? Don't really know much, or don't really care much about the price activity. So the big news, guys, is that we officially have a Chainlink spot ETF application in. This is big news for Chainlink. I've always told you guys that Link is a staple in any portfolio, in my opinion. This entire crypto market would not exist without Chainlink. They are the main oracle across the entire crypto space, bringing you everything from just price action and everything else, my friends, across networks. Candyman, Rob, will Candyman coin pump again? Yes, to the moon. It's going to go to the moon, brother. Ditto, what's going on? I see you. Robin, could this be September crash since? Yes. Yes, I already covered that. Okay, so let's segue over to Squawk Box. we are running out of time. All right, so quantum computing is call options. So we're looking at the morning markets, the opens. We have 2 videos on it.
To discuss the markets more broadly is Sylvia Jablonski, Defiance ETF's Chief Investment Officer. Sylvia, very good morning to you. That topic of quantum computing perhaps isn't the top topic du jour, but why don't we just quickly touch on that because of Leslie's story just there. It's a theme you like?
Yeah, good morning, Wilfred. It is a theme that I like, and it's actually been one of the fastest growing plays this year in the market. If you see the AUM growth in both the single name stocks and the quantum ETFs out there, investors have taken notice. So I think that quantum computing is really just a call option on the future of technology and on the future of computing. And it's something that's coming to fruition now, right? So you have quantum computers that are becoming more commercialized. They're starting to make advancements in material science and drug discovery and aerospace and defense. You have government spending going into the space. You have a race in quantum computing between the US, China, and Europe. And the news story that you just announced now between IBM, one of the leaders in quantum computing, and AMD just tells us that there's more capex going into this space. So it's a good path for the future of computing.
Spin us back to the story we were talking about at the top of the show with Steve Leisman and the president trying to fire Lisa Cook. Is this a worry for equities or a good thing for equities?
Well, I think Steve Leisman actually put it well that, your next guests that are going to come on the show are probably going to stick to their script of invest, 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 right? And so I think that while this is a risk to the market, when you talk about the Fed becoming politicized and some of these outside forces that can impact the market, I think investors will keep an eye on it. So, for example, the way that they'll do that is if anything changes in terms of the Fed's rate cut path. So if we don't get that cut in September, if we don't get the few cuts that the market is expecting, and there's any kind of change in timing or quantity of cuts, I think that pulls the market back. But overall, I think that the market is in line with the idea that the Fed sounded a little bit more dovish at Jackson Hole, that there will be cuts. And so for investors, that tends to be a path, at least in the short term, of looking to the market to invest. And what you saw was kind of that, rip after he came out with the more dovish speech. But, to Steve Leisman's point, there is a macro issue here about, what do we sort of want in terms of balance of powers here? But it's not really impacting the market today.
What's your scorecard on the mega cap tech names' earnings thus far and your expectations for NVIDIA?
So I think what's been great is that this earnings season delivered really, right? S&P earnings were up 10% year over year, NASDAQ up over 30% year over year. And the mega caps were leaders, and there was a good amount of capex, particularly in things like AI, and that bodes well for the future of the AI trade. In terms of NVIDIA specifically, that's really the heartbeat of AI and arguably the market, right? So whatever happens with NVIDIA tonight, I think will impact hyperscalers, cybersecurity, AI, chips, data centers, cloud, all aspects of technology. The bar is high, right? We're looking for over 50% in revenues. We're looking for close to 50% in EPS growth. And so it's going to be tough if there's a miss, and you might see, a pullback on that. But I think if they meet expectations, the stock will continue its way onward. And what'll be really important is to hear what Jensen Huang says about GPUs, adoption, continued issues between the US and China and tariffs, things like this. But overall, it's just a company that has had more supply than demand, and that's a good spot to be. So long term, I think it'll be a stock that people are still interested in, regardless of what happens today.
Sylvia, how do you square some of these mega themes, whether it's AI or quantum computing or spending on defense, with where valuations stand right now? What advice do you have for investors in terms of just short term versus long term as they assess some of these bigger themes?
Yeah, so I think investors have a lot of the mega caps in their portfolios already, right? And I think that it's for long-term investors, it's always good to hold on to those. It's a long game with investing, right? In terms of the new themes, though, I just think that there are new opportunities and new pockets to explore. So, for example, AI power and infrastructure is a good theme. We were talking about NVIDIA, and while you need, infrastructure companies like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Palantir in the AI space, you also need power. You need like the GE Vernovas, the Camcos, the Vistras, things like this. We're thinking that some of this AI applications will take double-digit power in the next decade. And so you can expand that trade and look to some of those types of names or ETFs in those spaces. And then I think that there's other parts of technology that we don't talk about as much, like modern warfare, for example, right? We have conflicts in the Middle East, we have conflicts in Ukraine. Government spending is I think about 850 billion or so was the last aerospace and defense contract. And so when you think about the new modern warfare, we're talking about drones and satellites, the Kratos, the Jobis, the AeroVironments of the world. And so I think that there are places to, again, take call options on the future of technology, and quantum, AI power, and modern warfare are three areas to look at.
I agree with what you said, and also, guys, I'd like to kind of add a caveat to that, and that is that when the markets are as confusing as they are right now, I mean, we're literally seeing all of this bullishness in terms of rate cuts, and then we see this dump. We see Ethereum getting into all-time highs, BNB getting into all-time highs. We're seeing this stuff. It's like things are bullish, things are bearish. What's going on? Guys, as things start to do that volatility of news, for me, that's also a sign of confusion, trying to shake people out. I think we're going to see that move up really, really soon, especially in the altcoins. Exit flip, Rob, could Bitcoin yield through liquid staking evolve into one of the sleeper hits of this bull market, or is the cycle too early for that narrative? It might be a little bit too early. Maybe next cycle. I think it just, things just don't tend to happen quickly in that aspect. So I think you might be onto something, but probably maybe in the next cycle. Venom, yes, I did see the news. I actually have a video coming out in a little bit this afternoon covering the Junction Layer 2 and their mainnet with Arbitrum. I talked about it this morning in a video, but I'm going to do a deeper look into it this afternoon in a video. So make sure you check that out. So yes, I did see that, my friend. Bitcoin faces a roller coaster week as uncertainties loom. Bitcoin's recently experienced a significant downturn, hitting a 7-week low at approximately $109,000. This decrease, combined with compulsory liquidations in derivative markets, led to a roughly 2% decline in the overall cryptocurrency market's value. According to CoinGlass data, more than $900 million in leveraged positions were liquidated over the past 24 hours, with a significant portion originating from long trades. Market experts attribute the heightened short-term volatility to increased apprehension preceding macroeconomic data releases. Now, guys, I was watching Cesar talk last night before I went to bed, and he was talking about all of the shorts that have come into the market over the last 30 days. And he said, and I agree with this wholeheartedly, he talked about how we are about to see a short squeeze, the likes of which you have never seen before. There are so many shorts that have piled in to the market, guys. I think it's like $20 billion or something like that. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Dr. Sean Dawson, head of research at Derive XYZ, pointed out that the cryptocurrency market commenced the week with a downturn. Bitcoin's daily volatility surged from 15% to 38%, while Ethereum's volatility jumped from 41 to 70. This market activity is linked to rising macroeconomic concerns following a higher than expected PPI reading. Investors are seeking hedging strategies prior to the release of GDP on August 28th, which is the day after tomorrow, Thursday, and employment data in early September. In options markets, a 25 delta skew indicator turned negative, suggesting rising demand for put options on both BTC and Ethereum. Dawson noted that the past 2 weeks have witnessed the most robust demand for downside protection. Derived data indicates an increased likelihood of Bitcoin retesting $100,000 level and Ethereum aiming for $4,000 by the end of September. Glassnode data reveals a 2.6% decrease in total open interests in Bitcoin futures, falling by approximately $20 billion. In contrast, long-orientated funding payments soared by 29%, reaching 3.6 million. This situation suggests a fragile scenario if momentum weakens. Timothy Messer, head of research at BRN, described the recent downturn as a leverage cleaning process in a weakening market profile. According to him, 24-hour liquidations neared $1 billion and Bitcoin's dipped below 110,000. Short-term investors cost base could compromise the technical outlook. He emphasized the importance of 103,700 and 100,800 levels as critical benchmarks. Nevertheless, institutional investors continue limited acquisitions. On Monday, Strategy acquired 3,081 Bitcoin for $357 million. Bitmine expanded its Bitcoin holdings by 2.2 billion last week. Additionally, there was a daily net inflow of 444 million into spot Ethereum ETFs, surpassing Bitcoin's ETFs. On the macroeconomic front, uncertainties regarding the Fed's interest rate cut trajectory have resurfaced, although Powell delivered dovish messages at last week's Jackson Hole meeting. President Trump attempts to dismiss Fed Governor Lisa Cook raised concerns about the central bank's independence. I think he actually did fire her. We got a story covering that at 1 p.m. today, guys. So make sure you guys are here for that. Lawrence, do you think these shorts are false and potentially form a stealth QE? Could be. It actually could be, yes. Do I think that Pith Network could rival Chainlink? Rival it. I think it could take a lot of market share away from Chainlink over the next 4 years through the next cycle. You could see a lot of people, if Pith continues to grow, you could see a lot of Chainlink investors start to shift towards Pith next cycle in the bear market as Pith's adoption grows and partnerships grow and its use case grows. And it could start to rival Chainlink. The reason that a lot of Chainlink investors may start to move towards Pith in the next cycle is because they might see more potential ROI in Pith for the next 4 years. So yes, that is possible, right? What do you think of Quant? I love Quant. Extremely bullish on Quant. I am a Quant fan. Hopefully that was clear. Ben, DCA to keep the FUD away. Absolutely. All right, we got one more morning market open video to get through, guys. Let's check it out one more time. All right. Morning market.
Markets now with Courtney Gibson. She's the CEO of Retirement Solutions at TIAA, where she oversees $894 billion in assets. Wow. I know, it's a lot. So we're glad to have you here. We've obviously been having this debate. We were just having one during the commercial break about, what the situation, the alleged firing of Lisa Cook by the president means for the sanctity of the Fed independence, the market reaction you would expect to see. When the news came out, we saw a dip in the dollar. When she said she would essentially fight these allegations, the dollar came back up. So not much in the way of market movement, market reaction to this. Do you think if we were going to see the market reaction, we would have seen it already, or is there still more to come?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's fantastic to be back on CNBC this morning. This is a really interesting conundrum when you think about what's happening with the Fed. And candidly, it's an unprecedented time right now in the market. And we're going to see just how influential the actual Fed and the Fed's movements, actions, and the folks on the Fed actually move the markets. I mean, obviously between 2s and 10s, you're seeing on the short end of the curve, you're seeing kind of those come in a little bit and you're seeing rates kind of fall, but you're seeing that longer end of the curve telling you there's some risk. And so what is that telling you in the market, even minutely today? And again, this will play out, I think, longer term over time. But what it's showing you is that they are putting a risk premium on the longer end of the curve at this point, and you're seeing spreads widen. That is telling you that the adult in the room, AKA the bond market, is actually saying, we will determine what the rates are longer term. The Fed controls the short end of the curve, and we shall see what the Fed actually ultimately does and what the political uncertainty means for the marketplace, both in stocks as well as in bonds.
So if you're concerned about Fed independence, if you're concerned about, the potential trustworthiness of the data coming out, in terms of portfolio allocation, do you just look for different assets that you think will outpace inflation at this juncture, just to make sure that you're covered on that front?
Our markets in the United States are incredibly resilient. And at the end of the day, we do have companies with strong earnings. We have the ability to review their earnings, the 10Ks, the 10Qs. We can look at cash flows. We can look at op margin. We can look at growth. At the end of the day, we have multiple ways, and probably more than ever before, to be able to vet the quality of both stocks and bonds in our market. So when I think about portfolio allocation, and in particularly at TIAA, what we tell our retirement participants is to ensure that you are sticking to the glide path that you have, that you are focused on the outcomes that you want to achieve. So if you want XYZ in retirement, ensure that you are properly allocated, that you are saving enough, and that you have protection in your portfolio. There was actually some really good news coming out of a recent executive order where alternatives were included in the executive order. The little known piece that people aren't as focused on, probably because it's just not as sexy, not as cute, are annuities. And annuities are something that candidly can provide guaranteed protection in a portfolio and the potential opportunity at the end of the day to annuitize and provide a guaranteed paycheck. And that's what Americans want. They want it while they're working, and they want it in retirement. And right now there's just a lot of uncertainty. So where you can take a portion of your portfolio and say, look, this is not going down. I'm guaranteed a minimum, and I have the ability at the end of the day to create a paycheck. You want to be able to do that. And I think that is a fantastic piece coming out of the most recent executive order that's kind of underplayed right now.
We are seeing some great executive orders coming through, guys. Super fantastic, not just fantastic, right? Ray says, I am glad I joined the Patreon. The information and community is awesome. Thanks for everything you do. Hit the likes. Absolutely, Ray. We love having you, brother. Gamma Goddess, there she is. Happy Tuesday, Rob and fam. Let's get this money. She also says, thank you, Rob, for all you do. We appreciate, not as much as I appreciate you, Gamma. Gamma is the cop on the beat here on YouTube. You mess around, you're going to find out. All right, guys. I got to get out of here. I got to get going. I will be back in 2 hours, 1 p.m. Central, for the next live stream. We got a lot to cover today, so do not miss it, guys. You're going to want every little bit of it. So get over to the Patreon as well. We will be live over there this afternoon. We do the Patreon lives. We got swing trade tiers, guys, where we are knocking it out of the park with our swing trades. A lot of passive income opportunities there. Micro cap gems, coaching calls, one-on-ones, and so much more. I'll see you guys over on the Patreon. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. Join me and thousands of other members today as part of our phenomenal community. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.